Hi there. I just uploaded a video entitled Originality is Not Required to Spark Creativity. And in that video, I talked about how I love to color in adult coloring books, and I use artist grade supplies. I use artist grade coloring pencils, as you can see behind me. And the question came up, is it worth the hype to buy artist grade supplies when you are a creative hobbyist? And I want to talk about it. I'm Yvette Boone, and I'm a recovering software engineer and a lifelong creative hobbyist. And here on this channel, we support Black women embracing a wellness practice that includes creative hobbies. So the question is it worth the hype to buy artist grade supplies? And my answer is yes. Just gonna cut out the middleman and say yes. And I'm gonna give you a couple of reasons why. And one reason why it might not be, but I have a flip for that. So the biggest pro for buying artist grade supplies to me is that it cuts out a lot of the frustration. I can remember, and I'm speaking about coloring pencils, but I'm gonna give you a reference in watercolor. I was learning how to watercolor, teaching myself, and purchased some low grade paper. And I struggled trying to get a certain practice, and I could not get it to do it, and did not realize for the life of me, because I didn't have the experience to know that it was my paper that was causing the problem. And the moment I changed my paper, everything just fell right into place. I have another example, knitting. I started knitting probably about 5 years ago, maybe 6. And I purchased some, what I thought was regular knitting needles. Like that's what you get, right? There's no specialty knitting needles. You just buy knitting needles. Bought the knitting needles. They had a very rounded tip. And I kept dropping stitches and could not figure out what was going on. This was my first real project. And when I tell you, if it had one hole, it had 10. I had to end up frogging the whole thing. End up buying some really nice knitting needles. Problem solved. I'm a bougie hobbyist and I have no qualms about that. My answer is absolutely yes. Spend the money, buy it once, learn how to use those supplies, and keep it moving. Now, because there is habits that form when you indulge, is that you end up buying more than one. Still, nothing wrong with that, right? At the end of the day, they do different things. And we can go through and talk about the different ones and why I purchased different supplies. The other thing is it saves costs. Like, I can look back and think about how many times I purchased what I thought was the cheaper version of something. By the time I buy all of those ones that were substandard quality, I could have bought something that was of good quality and just learned how to use that, right? So I am a firm believer of, I would rather buy once big. If you buy a lesser quality supply, and then by the time you go back to buy the nicer supplies, 9 times out of 10, the prices increase. So now you're even more mad because you done spent that on that and you don't even want to use them. So it ends up being stuff you don't use. One of the cons is that you think, oh, I have all of this stuff. Even if you spend good money on them and you just don't like them, you can sell them. Artist quality supplies, artists know how much they cost. You know, it's like Apple products. They don't go down in value, right? If you buy good quality products, they last for years and you can get your money back from them. You could definitely sell and get your money back. So let's get into it. I'll start with this one. So this is Prismacolor. And I want to say this is the 132 set of Prismacolor. Love these pencils. I don't have the examples with me in here. I actually have them in a caddy in my craft room. But these are the colors that they come in, all the different colors. Love these. These are really creamy. They lay down really well. They are easy to blend. And there are a couple of solutions that you can use because they are waxy. And for those that are new to this hobby, when you go to lay down colored pencils, they can either be oil-based or wax-based. Oil and wax are very similar. Wax lays down really, really easy, but pencil itself is softer, right? So, and that's what Prismacolor is. They're like a wax-based pencil. So they are really creamy and soft, and they lay down color really, really well. But the pencil is soft. So when you try to do very fine details or try to get into those little teeny spaces in books like this, where you have a lot of details, it's really difficult to get into those spaces. Now, with that being said, these are still fantastic pencils. And you can't go wrong with getting Prismacolor. And if you're in the US, like, you can buy them from off of Amazon. You can get them from Sam's Club. I think they even sell them at Walmart. Definitely they are at Michael's. I will add in a price point or a link to these. The next version of a color pencil is the Polycolors. These are Koh-i-Noor, and these are really good. These are oil-based pencil, and I forgot what country they come out of, but these are really good pencils, really good pencils. They have a color chart here on the back, so you know what color they are. It's 72 in this, and I've had this for some time. I don't know if they still sell this or not. Oh, it says Czech Republic. Really nice pencils. So these are oil-based, and because they are oil-based, that means the lead is harder, and which means that you can sharpen it to a very sharp point, and you can get into those small spaces in that book that I just showed. So yeah, love these. These not as many pencils, but you know, to be honest, I can mix some colors and get some of the ones that I have with Prismacolor. So I have these two sets, but they serve different purposes. This lays down a lot of color in big areas, no problem. This lays down good color, but you can definitely get into the small spaces, the Koh-i-Noor. These actually were not that expensive as far as the artist grade color sets are concerned. Those are pretty good for the price point. They are really, really good. Now, my next version is Faber-Castell. Now, here's a color swatch for these. And these are the Mac Daddy. Faber-Castell, these are Polychromos pencils. These are the Mac Daddy. So this is like an oil-based pencil too. These sharpen really nicely. You can get into the details with this. I want to say there's 120. Yes, 120 in this pack. You can buy all of these from Amazon. I have not seen these in a brick and mortar. I've only seen these online that I'm aware of. And if you shop at, if you're a bougie hobbyist like me, you shop at art stores. They sell these in the sets, and I want to say loose, but don't quote me on that. You can get these from an art store as well. So Jerry's online, Jerry's Artorama, Jackson's. Look at me right now. I can't remember the name of it. I'll think of it, and I'll either add it in the description. So these are oil-based Polychromos pencils. Definitely artist grade. Love these. These lay down really well. They mix with, and all of these mix together. They play well together, right? So if I'm in a coloring book or working on a piece of my own, I have no problems mixing these together. Meaning that when I lay down color, if I lay down color with this one, I can come over top of it with another one and blend those two colors together and go on about my business. I don't have any problems with that. That's what I mean by play well together. And then these are my treats. So these are equivalent to, it's equivalent to getting, this is the Katie Deer version of a Valentine's Day candy. Awesome. So if I had to describe these, it's like in between wax and oil. So they are hard. They get really hard. They put down color really well. From what I understand, I haven't really spent a lot of time doing faces and coloring in faces, but if you want to move into drawing faces and coloring faces, skin tones, this is a really good set to have because it has a lot of the skin tones. Now these I actually have in the box. This is how much I love these. I swatched these out because that's what I do, because I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that, but I like to see the color on the paper. So I swatched these all out, and as you see, it has a lot of like those skin tone, but you would mix those together to get really good skin tone colors. But yeah, a lot of neutrals, a lot of skin tones. And this is Caran D'ache. So you can see they come packaged really well. That's another thing about artist grade supplies, is that a lot of them come packaged. This box, like I'm never throwing these tins and these boxes away. For why? They're nice, really nice. When I go to use these, because they come in their own little shelves, I just take them out and spread them out, and I just use them like this. So this is really easy to use like that. I have also purchased like a pencil pouch that has zipper compartments, and they travel well, no problem at all. They don't break. You drop them and they break. They don't, none of that. So these are fantastic quality colored pencils, and I would definitely tell anyone that is trying this, that is starting in this hobby, definitely buy artist grade. Like, you can get one set. And if I had to get one set, I don't know that I can choose. But if I had to get, I don't know that I can choose. I don't know that I can choose. If I had to do one, I would probably do Caran D'ache. I wish I had bought that one first. I wasn't ready for the sticker price. So I did end up buying, and probably in that order. I think I bought Prismacolor first, then I bought Polycolor, because the Polycolor was the oil based. And then I got it and I had a little FOMO. So I ended up buying the Faber-Castells, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then COVID. And when COVID came, I was like, I need a treat. So I bought the Caran D'ache. So I will say, if I had to buy one, if I could only buy one, I would spend the money and buy the Caran D'ache, because it does all the things, right? And so that is the pro. The con is that you can kind of find yourself caught out there, and before you know it, you've spent some money. But I don't regret buying artist grade. On the flip side of that is the premise that buying artist grade supplies makes it precious, and you then have this trepidation of actually using the supplies. Oh, I don't want to mess anything up, or oh, I would need to create something really nice in order to be able to use them, or I should only use them when I'm creating something nice or for somebody else. And that's not helpful, right? It's matter of fact, you wasting money even more by not using them. Not that they're going to go bad, because they are artist grade supplies, so they're going to last for years. I mean, they would last decades. So that's not the problem, but you spent the money and you're not using them. It's like having diamond earrings that sit in a drawer and you never wear them. What's the point? And so I flip that by saying, I am using beautiful artist grade quality supplies, and that makes me feel special, right? I don't put, and I say this, I need to practice this, I don't put pressure on myself to create something beautiful every time. I'm creating an experience by using these artist grade supplies, and I love it, right? I love doing that. So instead of looking at it as, oh, they were expensive and I don't want to waste them, I don't want to not have the experience of using them. I don't want to waste that experience of not being able to enjoy them, use them. Wear your diamond earrings while you are coloring with your artist grade pencils. It's an awesome feeling. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to keep up with me and my shenanigans and what I'm buying or not buying, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Check out in the description, we have a link to our community, our newsletter. Hit that link, Go in. Also, I have a free journal. Go check out the free journal. There's some color and shenanigans in the journal, so go check it out. It's free. You hit that link in the description, you follow the directions, and it will send it straight to your email. So yep, go check it out. All right, and thank you for watching again. Have a great day. Bye.